Envy and jealousy are quiet emotions, but when left unchecked, they can turn deadly. Today's story shows how two friends became killers driven by resentment over beauty and attention. She was admired, she was envied, and that envy turned her closest friends into her murderers. This is a story of jealousy, betrayal, and a life taken too soon. It can be so awful how jealousy and betrayal led to something so tragic, especially between friends who were supposed to trust each other. Jealousy can destroy even the closest bonds. Michele Avila was murdered by her two best friends because of jealousy. That she was considered more popular and attractive. She had been forcibly drowned in water. Michele Avila, 17, from Arleta, California, was murdered on October 1, 1985, by her former best friends, Doyle and Severson. The two lured her to a wooded area in Angeles National Forest, assaulted her, and drowned her in a stream, allegedly out of jealousy over her popularity and relationships. Her body was discovered 3 days later. Both Doyle and Severson were convicted of second-degree murder in 1990 and sentenced to 15 years to life. They were released in the early 2000s after serving around 20 years. In October 1985, a 17-year-old high school student named Michele Avila disappeared after telling her mother she was going to hang out with some friends. 3 days later, her body was discovered in a remote area of Angeles National Forest, face down in a creek. She had been beaten, drowned, and her hair had been cut off. Police later learned that the people who killed her weren't strangers. They were her best friends, Severson and Doyle. They had lured her out under the pretense of talking, but it turned into a brutal confrontation. Witnesses later said jealousy was the motive. Missy was popular and her friends resented her for it. After years of investigation, both Severson and Doyle were arrested in 1990. They were convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 15 years life in prison. Severson was eventually paroled after serving more than 20 years. But then, in 2014, she made headlines again. Not for remorse, but for publishing a memoir about the murder called My Evil Life. The idea that the woman who helped kill their daughter was now trying to profit from her death enraged Mrs. family. Mrs. mother, Irene Avila, fought back hard. She launched a public campaign to stop Severson from earning a cent from the book. After heavy backlash, the distributor announced that the book would be made available for free, ensuring Severson wouldn't profit from it. But the Avila family didn't stop there. They began pushing for new legislation, informally called Mrs. Law, that would make it illegal for convicted murderers to make money by selling their stories or benefiting from their crimes in any way. It's been decades since Mrs.'s death, yet her story continues to echo through California's justice system, a reminder of betrayal, loss, and a mother's fight to make sure her daughter's killer never profits from what she did. They smiled with her, laughed with her, yet secretly envied her. What began as jealousy ended in murder. This is a story about how envy can destroy everything. The moral of the story is that even your best friends could possibly murder you. Thanks for watching, and if you learned something from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts.